everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Aurora LP10. I've continued playing and we've reached the 4th year of our reign, and it's been pretty quiet. Still nothing from our sensor buoy at the jump point to the invaders, and yeah, overall nothing much happened except us getting a couple of new civilian administrators, which are helping with our monetary problems. We still got no additional scientists, which is kind of hard. And our team on Mars, we put a Xeno team there, has finally been able to survey the ruins, and they have identified this as belonging to the Threat Imperium. They found 8 abandoned installations. It was very likely that the number would be low, since it was only a small outpost that have been surveyed. What is interesting but isn't shown here is that the tech level is fairly high, level 5 actually. But before taking a look there, once a Xeno team has completed researching runes, it gets a skill up, so each member got 1 additional skill point, which is nice because the team was fairly low when we started with them. And in order to see the tech level, you have to get to the population screen or summary screen for the planet, in this case Mars, and you can see here the number of installations and the name of the alien empire and the tech level. And 5, as far as I know, is the highest tech level that can be found. 1 is the lowest. With our iron tech we are at level 2. I think it's approximately level 2. So that's a nice find, but what do we do now? We want to exploit those 8 installations. And in order to exploit them or to recover anything useful from them, we need construction brigades. We have 4 construction brigades here, but the problem is, how do we get them to Mars? And in order to get them to Mars, we need troop transports. And if I'm not mistaken, we don't have any troop. Oh, we do have troop transport base. So I'm kind of tempted to try and construct a troop transport. Essentially, it's a colony ship, but instead of having cryobirth, it has troop transport base. So let's take a look at constructing a troop transport. I copy the colony ship design. Oh, let's try something different. I will not copy this colony design, so let's delete this. But since one of our shipyards is currently tooled for the Colony 200, I'll try to use this design. With a bit of luck, we might be able. No, I think we might not be able to build it on the same shipyard, since troop transports might be. I'm not sure. Are they military tech or are they civilian actually? Oh, still civilian. This is nice. So let's see. One thing which is important about our construction brigades is that they are taking up fairly large number of space. We can't see it here, but essentially each of our standard higher tech brigades needs a transport space of 1. Construction brigades need a transport space of 5 each. And I'm not sure how much space low-tech brigades take, so if you don't start Transnewtonian, you get some low-tech brigades, and they need more space as well. I'm not sure how much. Is it shown anywhere actually? At least I don't know. But at the moment this is not important, I think. So let's try to build our troop transport. Since we know that we need 5 space for each, we need where it is here. 2 battalions. Nope, we need room for 20 battalions. So let's do it this way. 20 battalions, fairly large ship. Let's see if it... No additional eligible classes. Most likely the 20 troop transport bays are tad much. Let's see if we can make it fit on the same shipyard with a tad smaller number of transport bays. Let's see if adding back those cargo handling systems, the initial design had 10 of them, helps in any way. Nope. So I'm afraid we will not be able to build this in our current shipyard, so we will have to retool it. Too bad, but no way around this. Let's take another look if there are some other ways which might enable us to fit it in there. But currently I have no idea, and I'm disinclined to tinker around with it here for any real length of time. So let's take a look at the ship design fairly fast. We'll turn it into troop transport. Troop transport. Here it is. Actually, I will be adding some more troop transport bays, even than the 20 I talked about earlier. Why? Because late in the game we're able to research HQs. First at the brigade battalion, I think brigade level, and later at the divisional level. And each HQ can command 4 units. So we would have one divisional HQ, which commands 4 brigade HQs, and each of those 4 brigade HQs is commanding 4 brigades, so we have 21 units. So I like to build my troop transports with being able to move 21 battalions here. So essentially we're able to move the whole division with 1 troop transport. Troop transport. It doesn't really matter for our construction brigades. We can assign HQs to them as well, but I'm not sure if they are really providing any Xeno bonus to the construction brigade, because the construction brigades rely on Xeno, in order to uncover those alien installations. Okay, I didn't rename it if I recall correctly. Yes, so it will be just troop transport. Troop transport 21. Let's take a look at the speed. Yeah, nothing to write home about, but it's okay. Okay, close. Our slightly improved monetary situation, but it got fairly low. I think I was at 1.2k here, but it's better now. Another thing which is helping us here is that the civilians have established a first civilian mine, and we will get some taxes from this mine. So construction, no, first we have to retool for the selected class. Our troop transport will take about 8 months, okay. About 8 months. Let's take a look how long it will take us before the salvage module is completed. It will be completed before, and now there's an interesting question. Do I want to build a salvager first, or do I want to have troop ships first? The salvager is very interesting and important, since it will enable us to claim all the nice wrecks in Berlin system once we have managed to deal with the aliens here, most likely precursors, so decent tech. There are a number of unknown wrecks here, which are most likely precursor wrecks. There's one of them. There's another one up here, if I see it correctly. Yeah, so 2. Let's take a look if there are some unknown wrecks hiding here as well. No, Chinese. American, more American, another American, and 2 unknowns. So 4 precursor wrecks. Most likely, either this is all of the precursors that have been here, or at least there aren't very many of them left, especially since those 2 seem to have been bases which have defended the planet, and this makes it very likely as well that there are ancient ruins on Berlin B4 as well, because most often precursors are guarding ancient ruins. So this might be a new task for our Xeno team. But I still have not really answered my own question. I'll build the troop transport for now. Most likely getting better tech versus the aliens would have been more important, but on the other hand, there are 8, which is not much, but level 5 installations on Mars, and if we get very lucky, we might find tech here. In this case, very high tech, which might be more important than salvaging those wrecks. It's hard to guess. I think salvaging the wrecks would actually be more efficient and give us more research, but I hate having to wait and let our constructing units sit on Earth even longer, especially because once they are on Mars, they will not only dig up those ruins, but they will provide a small boost to construction as well. Yeah, so let's build the troop transport here. Manage shipyards, retool for troop transport 21. Set activity. Okay, let's take a look what kind of components our transports are going to need. And we will start to pre-build them as well. One troop transport is actually enough, so no need to build additional components for now. What do I want to do? Oh yeah, I wanted to open up the industry screen. Ship components and reopen the class design. So let's take a look here. Can the troop transport bay be pre-built? Yes, that's possible. Let's free up some industrial capacity first. We have a decent reserve of infrastructure. I took a look there earlier. So create 21, 1% for now. The engine, I know that we can build the engine. We need 14 of those. Create cargo handling systems. Yeah, that's the only thing which can be built from this bunch. So let's take a look. When will those components be completed, and when will the shipyard have completed its refit? By the 11th of October. So yeah, we need a whole bunch of more capacity here. Let's see how far those points are getting us. 15 August. Okay, we can strip a couple of those percentages away. October 16th. Okay, this doesn't look bad. The next item on the agenda were the transport base. Nope, need more points. Military Academy. Yeah, we got a couple of them, so let's free up some points here. Still not good enough. 15. And add those to the transport base. November, still need a couple of those. Let's look at 15. It's always fiddling around here till you arrive at the number you really want. 5th of October, let's look at 19. 18th, yeah, this looks good. And finally our cargo handling systems. Yeah, even 1 percentage point more should be more than enough. Yeah, June. Okay, let's reassign the remaining 2 points back to construction factories. More construction is always good. We have the population for it. So, okay. Yeah. Let's continue. Another quick look at our other colonies. Mars has 2.5 million. Still a couple of available workers working up on those financial centers. Luna has built 4 financial centers as well. And on Hanover, which is the main target for our expansion at the moment, using the neutrals, 14 construction factories, still a lot of them getting shipped in, and they've built one financial center here. So let's continue. And I think I'll pause again till the next interesting thing is happening. What is kind of interesting here, that the couple of US ships and a Chinese ship are moving all in pretty much the same direction, and I have no idea where they are going. No, I don't want orbital path of asteroids, I want the asteroids themselves. It looks like they're heading here. Let's see if that's the case, and if they do, we will most likely have to take a look there as well. Maybe there's an alien colony, or I have no idea what else. Might those be actually survey ships? But they look pretty much like military ships to me. But they're behaving as if they are survey ships. Okay, maybe our friends on Earth like to construct their survey ships with fairly large active sensors. Who knows? Okay, time for another pause. Okay, it did get interesting. We have detected a new alien race in Seoul. It appeared right at the Munich jump point, so therefore I think it's fairly sure to say hello to the invaders. The good thing is, it looks like the US has a couple of warships right at the jump point, so with a bit of luck we'll soon see some nice explosions and a dead invader ship. If we are a tad unlucky and the US ships are fairly badly built, which I wouldn't rule out, we'll soon see some dead US warships, but the size of the invader is a fairly good indication that we are talking about a scout craft here. So pretty much the only thing it can do is ram those warships, and with the size difference between those ships, it will most likely be able to do this exactly once. So let's take a look what happens here. Contact has been lost, so there seems to be movement, and they've moved out of the range exactly of our... this is strange. The speed is very strange. 26 of our buoy, at least the invader did, but I have no clue what the American ships are doing here. Let's keep watching this, but it's very likely that there's an invader running loose in the Sol system. The only consolation is most likely it's just a scout. In the meantime, I've sent my jump ship to the Berlin jump gates, since I want to know if any other race has already established a jump gate on the other side of the jump point. Otherwise, constructing a salvaging ship will be a moot point, since we have no way, there it is, our jump ship, to get back to Earth. Yeah, it looks like it was an invader scout. Since it was any kind of warship, it would have shot on those US warships, or at least be approaching Earth now. Since both is not happening, a scout, which would fit in with the size we saw there. but one thing we know, it's very likely that the wormhole in Munich has gone active. Suffered maintenance failure. Let's take a look at our training fleet. Yeah, getting close to 100. We constructed a new carrier and a new breacher in the meantime. Both are training. And I've set up a carrier task force 1, which includes 2 carriers, 5 breachers, 4 of them, 2 of them the new type with the improved active sensors. I kept the other 3 at the older type, since I'm waiting for a new Gauss cannon, and then I'll upgrade all of them. At the moment, 2 improved short-range sensors should be enough, and soon the fighter scouts with the improved sensors will be ready as well. In total we got 7 fighter bombers on here, on those carriers, 5 fast attack craft, 3 older fighter scouts, and 1 Gauss fighter, which is pretty much useless, but there were 500 tons of hangar space left, so he's in here. Okay, since nothing seems to happen here, except we know that our sensor buoys were working, which isn't surprising. I'll pause again. Let's take a look at the Bifrost entering the burden system, if we find a jump gate there before I pause again. About civilian mining colonies, I mentioned earlier that the SIF shipping company has set up a mining colony, and once we have an interrupt, I want to show to you. There are 3 civilian mines. Each civilian mine equals 10 of our mines, so essentially there are 30 mines on an asteroid. The asteroid has not so bad stats, but nothing really great, because we've reserved all the nice mining spots. We would be able to either let those minerals go to the civilian sector, and we get taxes for this, 250 for each complex, so 750. Or we would be able to purchase the mineral output, but with our world situation still far from comfortable, this is not really an option here. Later on it might be an option if they have some interesting deposits and we start to lack minerals, but at the moment it should be fine. We will get a Mercassian problem here, that's pretty sure, but at the moment 33k of stockpiles should be enough to last us at least for quite a decent time. So let's take a look at Berlin. Is there a gate? There is a gate. This is very nice, so we are able to send in our fleet here, take a look, which I don't like to do as long as the invader is roaming around there, but on the other hand, a single scout, 4,500 tons. Let's send in the troops. Berlin jump point at move. All are fueled up. The ammo should be okay. Maintenance supplies, everything filled up as well. All are trained at 100%. Let's take a quick look at the distances involved here. This is 5 billion And in Seoul we are talking about burden to Earth 2 million, so 14 million per round trip. I think even our Blüchers have a capacity or a range of 15. Blücher, missile fire control, yeah, 15. Okay, so we should be able to take a look at Berlin, what looked like the planet they were guarding here, Berlin B4. So, Carrier Task Force 1 transit, yes, and move to Berlin B4. So, this might get interesting again, but with 4 wrecks, I suspect there might be nothing left. Especially, as I mentioned, since it looks like their 2 bases have been destroyed. Oh, we are still getting 1 day tick, so nothing, no fighting going on. Oh, there's our fleet. Okay, still getting more officers. I seem to be doomed to stay stuck with the 4 scientists we have. One of them still at no bonus at all. The dinosaur in Essen has completed. This is nice because the dinosaur is exactly what I would want here in order to take a look at Berlin B4. After completed this, go to Earth, refuel, move to Berlin, and geosurvey Berlin B4. Depending on where any potential precursors would be in the system, it isn't unlikely that we would be under attack now if there were any left. Still getting normal 1-day turns here. Taking a look at the turn count is a fairly good measure about what is going on in the game once it slows down. Why did it stop just now? Ah, it didn't stop, okay. Or did it? No, still ticking along happily. Once it slows down, it's a good indication that fighting is going on, as I mentioned. And if we start to see 10, 20, 30 second ticks, it's very likely that enemies are launching missiles at 10, 20 or 30 second intervals at us. Yeah, and we arrived at the planet without anything happening. So I think it's fairly certain that there are no precursors left here, but we'll stay at the planet till our geocraft arrives. And And since this may take a bit longer, I'll pause again. Yeah, we got a new scientist. Sensors and fire control. Pretty much the only guys we've got more than enough of already, but an additional bonus for researching the salvage modules, which will be completed soon anyway, is not the worst thing that could have happened to us. So let's reassign Ulf to the salvage modules. He's only able to work with 5 labs. Okay. So Ellen gets her job back. 9 modules for now. Ulf will get a job with sensors. Hopefully he will keep improving his skill with 1 lab. And the final lab will go to Stephanie, who had still failed to improve her skill in 4.5 years. That's pretty bad. In addition, we finished constructing the cargo handling system, so add those 2% to construction as well. And we've built a new, and I think the last, Blücher, exactly. Yeah, I'll try to regain some money here to have a kind of buffer, because I think our fleet is not that bad, and what I would like to get a couple of better techs before continue building here, especially beam technology, where we are sorely lacking. So let's assign somebody to the Blücher. The Daffling has completed, so let's do this first. All of you are getting a new home. Task groups, battle task group. In this case, move to, just to be sure here, since the fleet is moving. And your new home is Deutschland. And the Derflinger will go to Earth for some awards. Earth, refuel, resupply, overall. In addition, the Hipper, was it Hipper? Yeah. Will be sent to the training group. Move to join. And we will reassign the captain of the Derflinger exactly to the Hipper. Did it work? Yep. Okay, and pausing again. So our geosurvey ship has reached the planet, and we started at about 1,400 points or something like it, which is good, since from what I've seen, runes or worlds with runes often have fairly high costs to complete a survey, so there might really be some runes down there, but we'll have to see. In addition, we completed research into salvage modules, and I've built a salvage ship. I called it the... Did I? Yeah. The Gaia Vulture, and I think Vulture is a fairly fitting name for a salvager. 2 salvage modules, which will allow us to salvage 1,000 tons of military tech each day. This should equal 10,000 tons of civilian tech. Deployment time, I don't think it's important for salvaging, but I like to keep it in there anyway. 4 years should be okay, even for long salvaging trips. Likely not needed, but as I said, I think it's realistic to keep the crew happy here. Range, yeah, should be okay as well. The speed, not great, but it's a civilian ship. It's faster than our transports, and it will need transports since it has no cargo capacity of its own. A salvager will generate minerals, components, and potentially technology from wrecks. And for the minerals and components, we need cargo space to store those salvaged items. And our transports would provide the cargo space, so it's not needed, or it's not necessary that a salvager has its own transport. It just has to have a transport in its fleet. Yeah, and our transports are slower, so most likely, if I remember it, I'll want to send out the transports beforehand so that they can into position on the wrecks, and once the salvages have been built, I'll send those after them and start salvaging the fairly large number of wrecks here. And I'll most likely start with the Chinese and US wrecks, since it's more likely that advanced technology is in those unknown classes, most likely precursors, which would have a higher tech. And since the components and the technology will help us with our research, it would be a waste to use high-tech components to help with our still fairly low-tech research we have here. And after the research into salvage modules have been completed, I've reshuffled our research a little bit. Our 2 real sensor specialists are working on the beam fire control components, and I've taken some labs away from the Gauss cannon research, since it would have been completed by July the 25th, so next day. But since we will only be shown the results by the end of the next tick, July 29th, it would have been a waste to keep those additional labs on him. Okay, so let's continue for now. We still can't build our salvager or retool our yards, since we are still in the process of retooling for our troop transports, which will still take till October. This may take a little while, so I'll pause again. I forgot that the Gauss cannon research would be completed in 5 days, which it just did, and I want to upgrade our tracking speed to at least 12,000, which is still too low in the end. But with the invaders hanging around here, I want to have useful tech as soon as possible, so I'll not wait for another advance in fire technology. It will take till September 30 anyway before we are able to produce the new fire controls, but I'll design the new Gauss cannon and most likely new turrets, since I doubt I'll be able to 2000. I should be able to get better tracking speed. So for now I'll stick just with the Gauss cannon itself. So most likely no update for our turrets for now. Yeah, due to our bad targeting, we'll still have to stick to max size here, so let's create a new Gauss cannon. Rate of fire is actually 3, but 3, and velocity is 2. Create. And since the cost was too high to simply cheat it in here, we'll have to build this one. There it is. Create, yes. Will take till December. That's okay. The only thing we'll need the cannons for now would be if we construct more fighters, and I don't like to actually build too many fighters since they simply can't be retooled. That's the main reason why I prefer fast attack craft and real ships. The fighters essentially can serve as planetary garrisons inside planetary defensive center hangars, but otherwise they are largely useless. New jump point in the Essence system. So, do I still need the Bifrost? Yeah, I kind of need the Bifrost in order to refuel our 91%. No, not really. So the Bifrost will go and take a look at the new jump point in Essen. So Hamburg, Essen. Jump gate. Okay. Let's see if we're meeting more unfriendly aliens. Essentially, that's the universe as we know it at the moment. Precursors, most likely precursors in Berlin as well. Invaders in Munich. So we are living in interesting times. Out of 5 jump gates out of Seoul, 3 are uninhabited or infested, however we want to call it, by unfriendlies. Uh, 97 points left. 49. 1.4, here we go. Destroyed outposts. So we found some ruins, but again, very small ones. But we found additional ruins. So let's teleport our Xeno team in here. Mars. Disband team. We'll have to establish a colony first. Have I found any minerals? Yeah, we found some minerals, so we'll do it this way. What other minerals? Corbomite. Corbomite. Create colony. Close. Berlin. Archaeology dig. 90% biology boost. One of the more useless boosts, but better than nothing. So, Xeno team required. Yes, we want to send a Xeno team there. Unassigned, unassigned, unassigned. Communications. Do I really need a communications officer in Berlin headquarters, in Seoul headquarters? Let's assign this one. We will need this governor on Luna. Decent training rating. Yeah, we don't really need a good communications officer. So our Xeno team is established on the planet. Let's take a look if the Geo-survey craft has serving orders. Yes, it does. Okay, fine. I think, yeah, if there have been any precursors, I'm fairly sure they would have attacked by now. And since we are lacking the field to cover the complete system and look for precursors, I just have to assume that none are there and move back, not just move, but standard transit back to Seoul. Get some rest for the troops, resupply in case anything breaks down, and start overall, which should be fairly quick. And I pause. Oh, no, not just pause again. I don't have the need to do a 1 hour plus session here again. So I think no, nothing interesting. I think this will be the end of this Let's Play. Yeah, it's the end. Okay, thank you all for watching. Bye bye.